if you can hear my husband talking. I do think you can. I'm sorry. He's working from home and he has an online meeting and he is sitting in one of the bedrooms down below. Okay. We have a very noisy house. A lot of wood, so you can hear everything. Okay, it is what it is. Hello, my name is Sarah. Welcome to the It's a Sarah podcast. Today it is Monday, May 1st, and this is 2023, and this is episode number 74. I love to knit, I love to crochet, and I love to talk, so that's the perfect combination for making this podcast. I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, so excuse my Dutchy English. I have to search for some words every now and then. I make episodes twice a week, every Monday and every Friday, and I do that in as well in Dutch as well as in English. No, that's not the right following up from the words, but you know what I mean. I do that in English and Dutch as well. I think you say it that way. So be sure you pick the right one. You can find me as It's a Sarah everywhere. No, not everywhere, but on Instagram and on Ravelry. These are the only places that you can find me on the internet, and on YouTube, of course. No, I also have a blog, but that's only in Dutch and it's not active anymore. But I used to post there all my projects. But I quit that because it was too time consuming and I prefer talking above the typing. So since I'm making podcasts, I quit my blog. But if you can understand Dutch, or maybe there's a translation button, you can find a lot of information there too. So, okay, let's start with, I love to share my crafty adventures with you. Let's start with my crafty adventures from this weekend. It's all knitting today, I guess. No crochet, all knitting. But let's start with what I'm wearing. Because it's way too hot to wear a shawl right now. It's spring seems to be arrived finally. The temperatures are quite high. The sun is gone right now. It's a bit gray, but it is a sharp light, but it's quite warm. But these days I wear this scarf a lot. Scarf? It's a combination of a shawl and a scarf. A scarf. No, it is a shawl. A triangle shawl. I wear this shawl a lot because it's perfect when I go out to wear a cardigan and a shawl. This is the Skymning shawl. I made it quite a while ago, 2 years, 3 maybe. And it's, I have to check my notes. It is a pattern by Sofia Capelle. I will link all down below. And it's really a lovely shawl. It's knitted with 2 skeins of Kauni yarn. And it was one skein with color change and one solid color, the beige, and the color changing skein you knit in stockinette, and the other one you knit the garter stitch, and it's gives a really nice structure, and also the back is nice. I don't like ugly back sides of shawls. I think it's really annoying because yeah, I don't know, I don't like it. But this shawl, when I'm wearing it inside out. Can you wear a shawl inside out? It's also nice. I also love it. But these are quite autumnal colors. I'm really, maybe it's better for a brown-eyed, brown-haired person. I borrowed it once when we were camping to a brown-eyed, brown-haired person, and she was wearing it, and I thought, oh, this shawl is meant to be for you, but I'm not giving it away. So I'm with my blonde hair and blue eyes. I don't think it's the perfect color combination, but I don't care. I just like it. But I did buy a few years ago some a new color combination, also a Kauni skein, or actually it's not a skein, it's a ball, with more dark brown and black colors, and also there's also a little bit of yellow in it. So, and I think a little bit of gray and black, I don't know. And I want to combine it with this dark gray Shetland wool. And it's a bit heathered. And the garter stitch part would be a dark gray, and the other part, it would be a much more darker shawl. And because I'm wearing quite often black things, I always have black, no, not camisoles, 2 shirts I'm wearing, and I have a black Hinterland dress and a black linen skirt, and all my other clothes are also pretty often quite dark. And I think it suits that clothes better than the autumnal scarf. But every time I was doubting, I didn't know what I wanted to do. This yarn is Shetland yarn. It's from a Dutch wool yarn shop, and it is discontinued, I think, because it was in sale. Oh, charcoal is the color, is named the color. It's really beautiful. But I decided I will knit it. It's laying in my stash forever, and now I thought, let's show it in my podcast, and there is some movement, and just knit the shawl. Just knit the shawl, Sarah. Don't overthink about it. Just knit it. And it was really fun to knit that shawl. It was really a fun project. And in the beginning, I had to pay a little bit of attention because of the construction, but it's easy peasy. But when it's in your fingers, the pattern, the rows are getting longer and longer and longer and longer. And then it's just a very nice pick up and go knits for in between moments when you are cooking, or when you are calling with someone, or waiting, or in the car, and it's just a very nice knit. So I will cast on that, but not very soon, because my needles are not free, and I have a lot going on my needles, but it's out of my stash. I think it's in my queue right now. It's I think I will keep it here so I can see it every time I'm here, and then the shawl has to be made. And when the color combination is not my thing, I always can give it away. But I don't think it will happen. Okay, I'm also wearing my Mamea cardigan. And I told about it a few episodes ago. It's a pattern by Nodecker. And I really love this, love wearing this in summer. I really want to make another one in prettier yarn. This is Superwash Merino from Long Yarns. And it's, oh, there's the postman. I was waiting for the mail on Saturday because I got messages. Yes, someone's opening. I got messages that my mail, I had some packages coming and they would be delivered on Saturday, but then they didn't came, and I checked and the mail said, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't make it, and we will come another time. So I was so disappointed because I was so looking forward to it, and now it's here, but I'm making a podcast so I can't go, and I'm so excited. You will see it on Friday because there is yarn too. And my new Birkenstocks. Yeah. I don't know if I told it in the Dutch episode or only, or also in the English episode, but I ordered new Birkenstocks so you can see my hand knitted socks better. Yeah. Okay. But about the hand knitted socks, my whole weekend was spent on my Montemuro socks, and I'm really proud. They are in this, normally I use project bags. Oh. Normally I use project bags, but it's still in the Rebel with a Twist bag I received from Alexandra from Rebel with a Twist, rebellious knitter. That's nice. She has a yarn shop in Dordrecht in the Netherlands, and she asked me if she could give me the new Laine magazine. I said Laine, but the Dutch viewer said, no, it's Finnish. You have to say Laine. So I try to not forget that. The Laine new book, 52 Weeks of Socks Vol.II. And when she asked me, I had to overthink it because I am not an I'm not an adventurous sock knitter, and I wouldn't have bought it myself, and I was not sure because she said, oh, can I give you the yarn and the book and you will make the socks and mention my, she didn't ask, but that was of course for her, you mentioned my shop, and I thought, would I do it? But I did it, and I'm so glad I did it because it's so, I'm having so much fun. Okay, let me show. I finished the first sock yesterday. Isn't it beautiful? It is. Oh, I have to stand still. I always want to make a picture for the YouTube thumbnail, and when I'm doing that, I'm always struggling because I'm always talking. The mouth is always up and down. So it's so hard to make a picture, and sometimes I remember it and I do it when I'm ready with filming, but quite often I forget, and it's very hard to find a nice thumbnail picture of myself when I'm talking. But these socks are so much fun to knit. They are cuffed down, and there's the lace part. They are knitted Portuguese, so I did some Portuguese knitting. I found the most fantastic tool for Portuguese knitting. When you knit Portuguese, you have the yarn around your neck, and you knit the sock inside out, or you purl every stitch, because the Portuguese purl stitch is yeah, it's more easy than the Portuguese knit stitch. So you only do the purl stitches, and I really love it. And I'm a very loose purler. I always struggle with my purls, so I will really use this technique when I'm making a cardigan or whatever, because I think it improves my purl stitches quite a bit. And for this one, I did a lot of new things. I never knitted a sock on the Portuguese knitting way, and then I never did mosaic knitting, but mosaic knitting is so much fun. It looks a bit like color work, but then it is just you work with the slip stitches. So every round you have not knit, but purl. Because of the Portuguese, you purl with one color and you slip the other stitches, and that makes the pattern. But they are completely double knitted that way, so they are very nice and steady socks, and I think that's a good thing because I'm knitting them with Retrosaria Mondim. The pattern is also from Retrosaria, from Rosa Pomar, and knitting with Mondim, and it's a 100% non-superwash sock yarn. There's no nylon in it, so the double knitted gives them extra steadiness, I guess, I hope. And then I was when I was knitting the Portuguese part, the color work part, I was struggling a bit with the strand of yarn around my neck. My hair get tangled in it a little bit, and someone asked how my hair is. How do you wear your hair? I don't understand, she said. My hair, the way I wear my hair, do you say it like that? I have it's quite long at the front and quite short at the back, because then my curls, I haven't made an appointment for the hairdresser this week, so I have to go to the hairdresser, so it's quite long right now. Every now and then I cut it myself, and when I'm sitting at the chair with my hairdresser, I always feel so embarrassed, and I always ask her, don't laugh, only laugh when I'm gone. Not when I'm sitting in the chair, because I just do something. But this way my hair when it's the back is longer, my curls disappear because my hair is too heavy. But I'm not sure. I don't like this. I need my curls around my face, so this is the perfect way to wear my hair. And I always wear a headband. This is a fabric one, a very old one. Also, someone asked where I get my headbands. The knitted ones I knit myself, and the fabric ones I get them everywhere. Sometimes the thrift shop, sometimes this one I bought in a shop, but in a Dutch shop, but it's 8 years ago. So, but that's my bangs. My hair doesn't want to be a straight bang. I have curls, so I do it with my straightener. Do you call it like that? The thing that's getting hot, and then you do your hair through it. But I need the headband to keep it in place, because otherwise they will be this way or curling or whatever. So when I was oh, now's my yarn here, that's not how it has to be. When I did it this way, my quills tangled around the yarn, and some people sent me images of Portuguese knitting tools. You can spell on your garment a kind of ring which you can lead the yarn through, and I don't have it, and actually I also don't want it. So I was looking for a tool. What can I use as a tool? And then suddenly I thought, I have my tools with me. This is my knitting uniform, dus of course my knitting uniform has Portuguese knitting tools. Ta-da! The button is my knitting tool, my Portuguese knitting tool. It works pretty perfect. I'm not sure if oh yeah, I can knit a row. So this is the way I do it. Let me stand up for you. I wrap the yarn not around my neck, but around my button, and then I can just prill. I don't know if you can see it this way. Hoopla. Oh, now I dropped a stitch. That's not really a good demonstration. It is real life. I'm not as I have to practice the Portuguese purl still. My speedness is improved since I knitted a whole sock, but it still asks my attention, and it knitting goes much more faster. But it's not about the fastiness. Okay, I hope you could see it. But it was nice. I couldn't let it hang there when I had to do a how do you say it? When I nip my coffee. In Dutch we say a slok. Als ik een slok van mijn koffie neem. When I nipped my coffee or tea, I don't know. But also when I did two colors, I could. The other one was on the second button. And it worked pretty good. So you only knit with one purl with one color. So I could pick that one, and the other one was hanging there, and there was nothing happening. I have my knitting tools on my knitting uniform, my Hinterland dress made by my lovely knitting friend, not by me, because I'm a disaster on the knitting machine. So that was very nice. And then I also knitted the heel flap and gusset. When I started knitting socks, in Dutch we say the Hollandse heel, the Dutch heel. I started this way, but the fit was not perfect for me. So I experienced with the afterthought heel and then this fish lips kissed heel, and in the end I discovered the shadow wrap short row heel, and now that's my go-to heel. I really love the fit, and I also love to knit it. So when I was at the beginning of the heel, I thought, what shall I do? Shall I just do my own heel, my shadow wrap short row heel? And then I thought, no, you are on a sock adventure, so be a little bit adventurous, Sarah. It was quite funny because when you ask me, I should say I'm quite adventurous, but when I was knitting this sock, I discovered I was not adventurous at all. Every time I longed for my comfort zone. Oh, we just do what you always do. Come on, Sarah, don't be so adventurous, some part of me was telling. But I was very adventurous with a heel flap and gusset. Then I also realized that it's double knitted this way. And when I only do the shadow wrap short row heel, it was not double knitted. And with the non-superwash, no nylon sock yarn, I prefer a double knitted fabric. So I did it, and it was a bit of a struggle picking up the stitches purl wise, but I did it too. It worked out. And I do have a leather. It's a bit messy through the gusset, and it's not as pretty as I want it to be, but I promised myself that that we will not complain about it. So my I heard, I was watching Jonna's episode and she called it her Little Miss Perfect. I always say my perfectionist, but I really love the Little Miss Perfect. Only my Miss Perfect is not a little person. She's quite big. But I told my big Miss Perfect, don't bother that. We are okay with it. It's just a sock. And she seems to be okay. I didn't hear her complain, so that's a good thing. And also, I didn't want to invest a lot of time and attention and effort in making it better, because I don't think Portuguese knitting will not be my knitting for socks. Maybe I will try it when I want to be adventurous again. But I prefer socks just magic loop as I always do. And I will do the Portuguese knitting for back and forth knitting for garments, for the purling. I absolutely will try that, but for sock knitting, I don't. I was a little bit doubting, maybe, no, I don't. I don't think I do, I will. Let me see. So I did it all according to pattern, only the toe. When I was at the toe, my sock was long enough. The pattern has a little white stripe. I changed contrast and main color. In the pattern, the main color is white and the contrast color is very dark navy blue. I wanted to be the main color black, just because I prefer. So you have to, here there was a white stripe, but my toe would be too long, and if I knew, I would skip the last 2 rows. But otherwise, I love deep toes, and the toe is a little bit short right now. I love the look of deep toes, but it is more double knitted now, so it is better. It is also a round toe. I never knitted a round toe, and again, when I was at the toe and I saw the instructions, the first thing I thought was, no, we are not gonna do that. We just do our usual go-to toe, just with the decreases at both sides. You know that, and the fit is okay. Don't go for the round toe. And again, I thought, but I am going adventures right now. Just follow the pattern, and I really love doing it. I forgot to change my needle size. The pattern doesn't tell you to do, but the double knitted with the slip stitches is with 2.5 millimeter needles, and I used 2.25 for this part because it was only one thread and not double knitted, and it's also here, but it's not a problem. I forgot, and I'm really happy I did the heel flap and gusset, because the fit is really perfect. Because of the slipped stitches, there is little less stretch than usual, and I casted on 8 stitches extra, the smallest size, but 64 stitches, and normally I do 56 stitches for myself, but the heel flap and gusset also makes it a little bit deeper, I guess, and the fit is really perfect. I will show it to you, because when I put it on my foot, my heart jumped really hard and really high, and I'm so impressed. Okay, let's stand up. That's not my talent, raising my leg so high. I don't do that quite often. But I love that this is black, because it's perfect for my leggings and my tights. And also the fit of the sock is perfect, and it feels perfect, and it will look great in my new Birkenstocks. It also looks great in my old Birkenstocks, and I really love it. And I thought it would be a nice sock for winter, but now I think for cold summer evenings when we are camping, I always find it hard to pick the right socks wearing with my leggings. They are quite often way too bright, or I don't know, but this is the perfect fit and look, so maybe it will be my summer evening socks too. So I'm really excited. I want to show you, oh, that's really dangerous for my knitted garments. My sock blockers, because somebody asked me before, I guess. I have wooden sock blockers. I bought them at Shawl Rotterdam. That was a very beautiful and nice yarn shop in Rotterdam from Saskia, from Shawl, but she quit. And Saskia, she's quite stoer. I don't know the word for stoer. I don't know. She skipped all social media, and you can find her. Now she does have YouTube. She has a podcast, A Smaller Life, and she also has a community. I'm not part of making part of the community. You have to be a member. It's paid, I guess. I'm not quite sure. So she is active on other ways right now, and she doesn't have a shop anymore. But when she does, I bought these sock blockers, and they are made. Saskia was very finds it very important that things are sustainable, but also good for the person who makes the things, and that's really nice and good. So these are made by a Dutch lady. Her name is Brechtje, and her company is named Studio Spintol. I will link it down below. I have no idea if she ships worldwide, but then you can take a look. And she also has Instagram, I guess. But these sock blockers were quite expensive. But these are meant to be for life, sock blockers for life. And I hope when I'm an old granny, and I will die, that my sock blockers will go to my children. Oh, these are from Granny Sarah, and to my grandchildren. So they will. Yeah, these are really sustainable, and I really love that idea. You don't really need sock blockers. I think it's good for colorwork socks to be blocked. For the stitching, they can flow into each other. But to be honest, I just love to make pictures for my socks on a sock blocker, because socks, yeah, when they are on my feet or not with nothing in it, they are still pretty, but I'm really sensitive for a sock on a sock blocker. It's also a heart jumping thing, but not necessary, but I love it. And when I put all my time and effort in those socks, and I can watch them also a bit this way, I think I deserve that. So yeah, those are my socks, and I casted on the second one this morning. And I'm at the lace part right now. I'm in the middle of a row, so that's a bit of a mess. But I really, really feel the need to cast on everything. My knitting mojo is quite high. It's never been low, to be honest, but it's really high at the moment. I feel all the knitting energy, and I want to make everything, all the knits, all the summer, but also for winter, and all. But I really want to finish the second sock before I cast on anything new. No, that's not really true. I will tell you in a minute. I always practice my discipline, my self-discipline with knitting, because I know I will be a happier person with 2 socks than with 1 finished sock. So yeah, it really works out. It's really nice to practice your discipline with your knitting, because I think it helps me in other parts of my life too. I'm quite sure that because of all my practice with knitting and crochet in discipline, I'm also good in my household, in my course, just do it anyway. Also, although you don't have the motivation, just do it, and after, when you are done, you will feel better. So yeah, to practice that with your knitting and crochet, it's a very nice way. But I will cast on a new project tomorrow. Tomorrow is my husband's birthday, and I want to knit him a cardigan. I told a little bit about it last Friday. We went to the yarn shop together last Saturday, and it was really lovely. There's a yarn shop in the town next to my town, so it's 20 minutes drive, I guess. And it's a very lovely yarn shop. It calls Wolatelier Tilburg, and the owner's name is Ellen, and it's a yarn shop next to her house, and it looks very good. She sells sustainable yarns and good yarns, she calls it, and it's a little shop, a small shop, but it's looking amazing, and all the details, I really love it. and her window is looking very good. And I filmed a bit, and my husband filmed a bit, so you can find it at the end of this podcast if you love to see a Dutch yarn shop. And we went there together, and I searched a pattern from a nice cardigan. It was quite hard to find one, but I found one. I found the, let me see, the Gryten. The Gryten men's zippered jacket. It's a pattern from the Weststrand knitters. I'm struggling with all this. And they made an ebook for Jerbo garn. It is the suggested yarn for the cardigan is svensk ull, and I really loved their svensk ull. I never knitted a garment with it, I guess, not with this thickness, but I received a few skeins from them and also a sweater quantity, so it is on my list. A very beautiful color combination for a colorwork sweater. But I didn't want to buy svensk ull. I want to visit a yarn shop and support a local yarn shop. It was local yarn shop day last Saturday. I don't know what that means, but I saw it on social media, so it was good timing. And so the cardigan is in a broken rib stitch, and it's an outdoor cardigan with a layer back, with a layer round, a lower round back. So when you are cutting the wood, you don't have a cold back. In the Netherlands we say, oh, that's quite funny. How will I explain this? Okay, I try. Don't laugh, okay? Please. In the Netherlands we say, are you really gonna do this, Sarah? Okay, I am really gonna do this. Women, your breasts, do you call it a décolleté in English too? I don't know. Your breasts, you have a little stripe between your breasts. I don't have very big breasts, so I have to push them together to get that stripe. But you know that stripe between your breasts. In Dutch, we call it décolleté. It is actually a French word, I guess. So that's a women's décolleté. But you also have some men with their trousers, and the trousers are hanging quite low. And when they are going through their knees, in Dutch we say hurken, when they are sitting on their hurken, when they are sitting low, their shirt lift up, and you see a little bit of bare skin. And then you also see something that looks like a women's décolleté. Only it is not a women's décolleté. It is the stripe between the billen. You have two of them. You have a left one and a right one. How do you call them? And there's a stripe here too. So we call it a bouwvakkers décolleté. Bouwvakkers are men who are building houses, and probably if I think they are having those décolletés quite often. I don't know, but it's a bit of a Dutch joke. Yeah. So to keep your bouwvakkers décolleté, to keep your décolleté at the back warm and not visible for anyone, there's a warm woolly layer in this cardigan. Oh gosh. Yeah, my husband doesn't has such a décolleté. Do you say décolleté? It sounds quite natural. And I will not knit the lower round back. I just will knit a straight back. And also it has long sleeves with thumb holes. I won't make that too, because he doesn't need an outdoor version. He needs an office version of this cardigan. So I will do some modifications. And the cardigan is knitted bottom up. You knit the sleeves and then you attach them to the body with a raglan and I-cord binders and a zipper. So it's quite nice. And when I want to buy the pattern, I saw I could buy it for €5 roundabout. And but when you pay €9, I guess you got the whole ebook with 9 patterns. And there was also a ladies zipper jacket, and I really loved it. And one of the suggested yarns was Let Lopie, and I have so much Let Lopie in my stash, and I really saw me wearing that cardigan in Let Lopie. And there were also sweaters, they were not really my taste, but also fingerless mittens and a hat, and such a turtleneck color with a piece of fabric here. I don't know how it calls. So I bought the whole ebook. So we went to the yarn shop, and this is my bag. And she sells Peer Gynt, the Nordish, how do you say it? Norsk wool. Nordish wool? Nordish wool? Nordish. Is Nordish the good English word? Wool from Norway. It's raining, I guess. That's not what I expected. Okay. 100% wool from Norway, a DK weight. It's 50 grams, 91 meters. And yeah, it's really nice. And we got a really dark gray color. It is color 1088, and it's really nice. And I started to make a swatch because I want to finish the swatch, and I will give it to my husband tomorrow. And it's I really get gauge. I went down 1 needle size and I get gauge in 1 time, so that's really nice. And it's really looking fine. I really love the stitch, and I'm really looking forward to this project. So I will cast on that tomorrow, just because it's fun to cast on a birthday knit on his actual birthday. But I don't know if I will knit on it a lot. I don't know. And I also bought 2 skeins of Mondim, Retrosaria. I'm a fan now. Actually, when I actually was thinking about this color combination for the Montemuro socks I'm knitting, but this one was out of stock in Alexandra's shop, so I chose the black and white. And I bought 2 skeins black extra for a cardigan, but I really want to make new leg warmers for the black, and I was also doubting about the cardigan. And then I saw this brown. There was also a very lovely pink color, but my husband said, you love brown more than pink. And I, oh yeah, okay. So I brought those browns. I'm not sure if I will make this. I will want to make the helix cardigan with scrappy sock yarn stripes. So I'm not quite sure if I will choose this one, but there will be good anyway, because I love the color and I love the yarn. And I also was gifted by Ellen, the owner of the yarn shop. I saw they have my favorite, I don't know how do you say it. It's from sheep wool, from the sheep. It's the very fat, sticky stuff they get out of their the sheep coats. No, that's not coats. It's also not the skin. It's between the wool and the skin. The sheep. How do you call it? Fat. I don't know. But it's making the yarn. It's protecting the skin of the sheep, and they're making this product of it. And I really love it on my hands and on my lips and in my hair. And she was selling it too, and we were out of stock at home, so I had to order it, but I didn't done it. And she has these several ones, and I wanted to buy 2, and Ellen said, I give them to you, so it was a present. I'm very happy. And she also had a basket with all those scrappy yarns, and I found a really nice dark brown non-superwash fingering weight yarn, and she also gave this one to me. It is Portuguese yarn too. I'm really in the Portuguese team at the moment. Maybe I have to visit Portugal. I never have been there. I have no plans to, but I think it's a wonderful country and not far from the Netherlands. But I never go. I've been in a plane for once in my whole life when we went to Rome with my family, it's not that I don't like being in a plane, but I just love going on holidays in the Netherlands, and we have an old caravan and that's it. And yeah, I don't know. My husband and I, we are dreaming of a little van so we can tour through Europe. He can drive and I can knit. We can visit all the countries. But that's a dream for later, when we are big and old, I guess. When the children are grown up, I guess. I don't know. But this is Victoria Ovelia Negra. I don't know if I pronounce it right, but she bought it in a wool shop in Porto, in Portugal, and it's really nice. I don't know what I will do it, but it's really nice. It's really smelling like sheep. Oh, I love that smell. Some people don't love that smell. I can't. Yeah, I really love it. Okay, last thing I want to share is I will frog a project. My secret summer top. The needles are out. I needed them for my swatch for the cardigan for my husband. And I last Friday I thought my heart wasn't jumping when I was knitting this project, and I was not sure. And then Anna, I have the smell. I not only have the smell in my nose right now, I guess also some wool. When I visited the yarn shop and I saw all the nice yarns and all the nice patterns, and the morning before we went, I was looking with my 13-year-old daughter on Ravelry, and she saw all the nice patterns, and she said, "Oh, do you want to knit me this sweater and that sweater?" And then I realized, do I want to spend my knitting time on something what is not making my heart jump? No, I don't want to. I really want to make something out of this for my little niece. I found a fantastic pattern on Ravelry, and it is the adorable Giulia tee. It's a design from Adorable Knits. That's how she's called on Instagram, and now I forgot the name. Oh, Dorothy, I guess it is. Dorothy. She lives in Belgium, in Antwerpen. She has really nice designs. And I saw this lovely raglan ribbed tee for children with an I-cord bind off or cast on, I don't know. And it just looked so nice. And there were some samples, some projects knitted in Lang Yarns Quattro. And this is Lang Yarns Quattro, 100% cotton, and this is a color changing yarn, but I also have the solids quite a lot in my stash, and I see me knitting these raglan tees for my little niece till she's 12. She will get every year 1 or 2 from her auntie. I want one myself too, I guess. So I will make some, and I really love it. I will insert a picture. I'm quite sure you love it too. It's looking so adorable. It's an adorable knit design, so of course it's looking adorable. So I'm looking forward to that one. Okay, that was all I want to share with you today. And yeah, we still are having holidays here. The weather is, it's raining right now, but spring is a little bit coming. The temperatures are rising, so that's okay. And we are enjoying ourselves a lot. We are having a nice day out tomorrow on my husband's birthday. We will surprise him. Yeah, that will be a good day. So, yeah, I think I will be there on Friday too, but maybe when the plans changed, when the plans are changing, I will skip on Friday, but then don't think so. So I wish you a very nice week with a lot of heart jumping